to kind of guide you along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially a father figure.
Yeah.
So, I just usually kind of date sisters who already have like that foundation. Even if the parents are not together,
Right.
they had their father in their life.
Exactly.
So like I'm dating
That makes
Siobhan.
sense. Cause I be saying that I'm like, if I can't have a woman, not that there's anything wrong with a woman who hasn't had both, but
Right.
if I can't date one, it just has to be stable. Cause I want the child. If I'm planning on having a child with this woman, I want to make sure that this child comes out, not having a genetic makeup that's messed up because of her past. You know what I'm saying? Cause babies at the end of the day, genetic makeups for both you and the mother. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, and it's that deep, but
yeah.
a lot of folks have been kind of like brought by Hollywood standards of like relationships and having families,
Yeah.
and then the whole baby mama, baby daddy kind of like complex, and
How do you feel about little off? We're gonna get to that too. Real quick
okay.
about what. How do you feel about polygamy?
Believe me, I feel that in the long term it would definitely be a benefit, because I think when it comes to like black men,
Yeah.
I think we benefit. I think in terms of like with women in general, that keeps us grounded. If you look at like the way we set our priorities, one of the reasons why we kind of like go about things the way we do is pretty much because of women.
Yeah.
Because like
Facts. Yeah.
it's just in terms of like building ourselves, bettering
Yeah.
ourselves, and so I think that's where a lot of our strength comes from. In terms of like having that strong foundation where you have like, I mean, you look at like a lot of like the greatest artists, like you look at Bob Marley, you
Yep.
look at Fela Kuti, they,
Facts. Yep. Yep. That's true. That's true.
and you look at certain leaders like Dr. York,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the female, role, females playing the particular important roles,
Right.
So I think that's something that's key. It's just that I think with polygamy, personally for me, more than likely I don't see myself being in a polygamous relationship, because the way I was brought up, I still kind of have like that
Right.
programming of
Yeah.
like,
No, there's
one
nothing wrong with
wife,
that. Yep. Yep.
one mother, one father. Because my parents just celebrate their 30th anniversary.
That's dope. Congrats. Yeah. Congrats, bro.
Yeah,
I don't hear much of that.
And even within my family, even though there may be couples that have been together for quite some time, 15, 20 years, that was probably like their second marriage. For my parents, this is like their first marriage, their first try.
Mm. Oh, this was like the 30th?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't get married prior to this.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I think that has kind of like an effect on how I go about relationships and things like that.
Cause I always felt like,
because I'm kind of I'm kind of like old school,
right? Right. Cause I always felt like if you're gonna do that, at least it has to be a plan behind it, like building a kingdom or something like that,
Right.
But if you're just doing it just to have wives, like
because because it's trendy and like
you gotta have the money for that, I don't know. I mean,
right, and that's not attractive,
Unless you're doing something, like I said, building a kingdom or something, I don't really.
Yeah, it's like you have to have like a business plan. Like you have to have a blueprint that will actually help you to carry through in terms of like building, a polygamous relationship. And I think also because we look at things from a Western lens,
right,
from an American point of view, it kind of like clouds our ability to see polygamy for what it truly is, from a pure African, purely African context.
Yeah.
So I think when we start to see how polygamy actually works in certain parts of Africa, I think that's when we can finally learn how to make it actually work. And then also, you know, in terms of polygamy, it's not just the guy saying, "Oh, I want that wife and that one, wife number 1, 2,
Right.
3." It's like, no, the first wife has to agree whether if you can take the second wife or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how it was originally structured. You know, because it's all about balance. So it's kind of like, you know, you got a guy, you know, especially here in the West, it's kind of like, well, if men can have multiple wives, then how come wives can't have multiple husbands?
Let me ask you. You know what? Let's go, Dave. Man, I got David here, man. David Coleman. New up, man.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Why is that? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, and it might sound biased, but the way nature works is kind of like there's certain strengths that women have that they're good at that men can't do, and there's certain strengths that men have that women can't do. Right. Not to say it's impossible for a woman to be, you know, the fight, you know, in the military, you know, because a lot of the greatest warriors were, you know, a lot of the world's greatest warriors came from Africa. You know, like your Hatshepsut, your Ya Asante from Ghana, Queen Nzinga.
The Zinga tribe, yep.
Yeah, so you see a lot of those elements where our women have been able to play both roles, you know, in terms of like being the nurturer and then also being kind of like the
aggressive, yeah.
So in terms of like why
a woman can't have
the fact of the matter is that based off of my research is that in terms of like a woman's cycle, because the thing about when you have, you know, sex with your significant other, you're exchanging bodily fluids, you know, genetic material, and not just between you, but also based on her past partners. And in terms of like the women's system, it's a very complex system where once they have like a certain number of partners, it takes a long time for a lot of that genetic material to be cleansed out. And a lot of times, if a woman has too many partners, a lot of like that genetic material starts to have, in a sense, effect on their personality. Not to say it's like mind control or anything like that.
I mean,
you know, not to sound all spooky and all that.
Man, we good. This is I studied divine spirituality, so I fully understand what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely.
You know, so you know, it can have an effect on your emotions, and the same thing with guys too.
Yep.
But on the flip side, you know, men are, you know, a genetic defect, if you will. And the reason why I say that, and I don't say that in the sense of...
No, you're right.
You know, like, oh, we're like, you know, like, we're nothing. You know how in the West, when you use words like defect, it doesn't mean that you're defective completely. You have your place.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, women have XX, you know, they're a full being.
Right.
Whereas with men, you know, you have the X and the Y, so there's a missing stem.
Facts.
You know? And I actually came across like this post on Facebook. My friend Lucci, she posted it up. It was something about like...
Shout out Lucci. She's going to be watching anyway, you know.
Yeah, and she recently had her son.
Oh, okay. Shout out to that too.
Shout out to her if she sees this.
Alright.
So she posted an article about like fish. I forgot the name of the type of fish.
Yeah.
I guess male and female fish, and I guess when they mate, the male clings onto the female, and I guess it sounds comical, but I guess like the fish loses his eyes. And I guess his body fuses to the female. I have no idea.
But send me that, bro.
I think, I'll definitely send that to you.
Definitely.
And I think there's, you'll see those kind of like...
Because I do know there's a goldfish. The goldfish can change genders.
Seahorses and all that.
Seahorses, yeah. The male can get pregnant. The seahorse male gets pregnant, and the woman male. I don't know if you know about that. The woman seahorse.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and the male seahorse gets pregnant. I'm like, whoa. That's some shit. Like,
so nature kind of like has its, you know, macrocosm of like everything,
right?
You know, so So it, you know, for those who are like into the Bible and Christianity also, you know, there's that
corny asses. We on here, Black Book TV, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you know, so there's like that passage in the Bible where it's like the man clings on to the wife and becomes one flesh. So that was just like a reference, an example of like how you can see that in nature.
right.
You know, when you go past, you know, past monotheism, the three
Right.
religions, and just look at nature as an example.
Yep.
Because before, you know, the Quran, before the Bible, before the Torah, we just had Mother Nature.
Facts.
You know.
Yep.